actually this slightly less messy mess. So I think I've got all the parts cleaned up that need to get cleaned up to put this side back on. It's kind of interesting actually that they got this serial number stamped in pretty much everything. You can see there, stamped at the bottom of this casting. Same thing on this casting. It was scratched into the plate on the end of the carriage drum that we fixed. You see on the carriage bed plate, scratched in right there. Well, if it would focus, you could see it right there, 1951. So it's kind of interesting that they put that serial number on all the different parts. I don't think I noticed that on my Marchant EA or even on the XL that I worked on before, so it's kind of interesting. Anyway, so there's actually a couple pieces here that I don't have in shot. One of them is this. So this is the actuator assembly for the keyboard. You can see it would normally sit like this. These teeth engage with gears, or with gears on the inside of the drum here. So when these rock back and forth as driven by the keyboard, they rotate these pieces because of the teeth meshing in there. So first thing I'm going to do, see if I can slide this in. This goes into a hole right here. Have to. Should just go right in, really. See if I can leave it like that for now. Get these out of the way. So I'm going to put that in first, slide over. Maybe I will slide over as far as possible. There we go. Sure those are back out of the way. Then what I'm going to do is, I probably should have done this first, so we can get this piece in. So this goes into a little hole right there. It's going to apply some oil to it. See if we can't slide this. Come on. Oh, it was hitting something. That's right. So that should go in like that. It gets this spring and this cap that go on. If we can't. Something like that. I'm just going to leave it like that for now. I'm not going to put the pin in. There's a pin that goes in that cap to hold the spring, so this wants to spring. But for now, we'll just leave it like that. That should be fine. So, keep these out of the way as much as possible. Right, so that's fine. We have this to go in. So the timing of this is pretty simple. You can see how there's a cutout in it here. This cutout has to be facing straight up when it's in the home position. You can see because we've got the crank locked in, it's in the home position. So just go in like that. I did clean up the corrosion. Most of it actually wiped right off. A lot of the green stuff wiped right off, and then you just use a little bit of Scotch-Brite to clean up these pins. And these are all free, so I'm not concerned about that. So I'm not sure what caused that. It's very strange. But slide this in. And something you want to pay attention to with this is usually there will be some shims on here. You can see there's a stack of shims on this side, so make sure you don't lose any of those when you put that in. So the next thing is these pieces. They should go on. So one of them is wider than the other, so it kind of goes on like the outside. So let's see if we can't slide these in. Should be fine like that. There's just going a pin there, and then there's a pin in this side that it also goes into, so we'll just oil those a little bit right there. Now, theoretically, should be able to line everything up. And put this on. line. Stuck here. Hold on. You can't line up these first. These pins seem to be longer, so it'd be easier to go. So those are in. See if we can't. Okay. This might be somewhat more difficult than I was anticipating here. See if we can't. See if we can't try again. And there, that falls over. So we'll get those on. I'll stand this up. We can't get everything moved together in one shot here. This has to go up. Something like that, but now this isn't in, so it's back there a little bit till we can get that in. Now that's in, now that's in. Okay, now I think we might be good. Just push that together a little bit. And you can see that because this shaft is so far over, it doesn't reach that hole yet, so we're fine on there. It's just that once this is on, you won't be able to slide that in, I don't think. So that's why I wanted to get it in. Yeah, those are all fine. That's fine. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is see if I can't put this in. Make sure this piece is all the way over. I'll see if we can't just drop this in, perhaps. Perhaps not. If not, I can take some screws out of here and take this piece off the bottom. I absolutely have to if these things are going to get in the way, which it looks like they might want to get in the way. Because of this piece. Actually, this comes off. I can take that right off. Get that out of the way. See if it's working any better now. Maybe not, because this piece here probably has to go underneath there. So I'm thinking this may not cooperate here. See if we can't drop this in. I don't think so. All right, so let me take this piece off the bottom real quick. Just be 4 screws that hold that on. Alright, so those 4 screws in, this should just come right off of here. There's going to be some dowel pins that hold it on, so I need to pry it a little bit to get it to come loose, but there's one side loose, the other side loose, so that'll come off. Set that to the side. Actually, I just noticed these are shins, so don't lose those. Flip this upside down now and see if we can just slide it right in, right like that. And now there's going to be, so there's 2 screws there, and then one there, but there's also pins, which are these big fat taper pins here. You notice that one is shorter. The shorter one, just clean some dirt off the top of that, and the taper is towards the top, so they go in with the taper towards the top. Shorter one goes in this side because it has to clear this thing here. There's a cutout in the casting for that to slide into, and if you put the long pin in there, I think it'll stick down and hit on this thing. Be aware of that. So we'll just put those in lightly just to line that up. Something light to tap them with. So I don't want to put them all the way in case I have to take them back out again for whatever reason, so we'll just, there's a light tap, see them, and then we'll put some of the screws in just to hold everything in place. So you notice that even if with the pins in, it still wiggles a little bit, so make sure that we get everything pretty close to lined up. I don't think it'll be exact until we get the base on, because the base has dowel pins in each piece. We'll just put at least one screw in each side, kind of just to hold everything together, so it's not falling apart. And let's see, one of these dirty screws, so I'll just wipe off real quick here. Came out of this side. There's a big pile of dust on that side. Just one of these in here. I'm going to tighten these all the way down, like I said, until I get everything pretty much together. So, let's see, how long was this video? 10 minutes. So I think that'll be it for this video, because the next video will be probably trying to get these pieces in the back, the geared teeth, lined up with the correct position for these. I'm going to put some oil on this once I'm able to rotate it around with the handle, just like rotate it around and oil different places. That'd be easier than trying to hold it and oil it, and then it's going to get all oily and slippery and it's all over the place. So in the next segment, we'll reinstall this piece, which we just took off from up under there. We will install this piece, which is the lock. So that has two brackets that go here and here on the bottom. That kind of holds this up and around the back, and then normally these teeth that stick out will be around on the back side, and then they engage with these detents. So when you start turning the handle, this comes in and locks the setting segments in position so they can't turn during the cycle. So we'll install that. And I think after that after all that is installed and after these pieces are lined up, then we can go ahead and start getting the keyboard back together. Other thing else I forgot to mention, notice that I have installed the two plates on the back here. And the reason I did that is because once the carriage bed plate is in like this, you really can't get at those screws very easily. So that's why I put those on first. I left the plate off the front here because these screws are what go into these detents, these cutouts here on each of the keyboard assemblies. So we're going to be able to access those as we put the keyboard in, and then once the keyboard's in and finalized, we can put that other plate back on the front here. So I think that's going to be it for this segment. Like I said, next segment will just be continuing assembly on here, hopefully getting all this stuff lined up, this in, that in, and we'll see how far we get. So hope you enjoyed this video, and thank you for watching.